Hi, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Bullish on Business. And today we are so happy to have a very unique company on with a very cool founder. So today it's going to be a Michigan-made story that blends passion, hustle, and creative brand, which I'm going to say also a little bit of fun and play, which I love that. I'm talking about two founders, even though we're only speaking one today. They together are turning their experience on the golf course into a full-fledged brand builder. So we have Josh Lueck, and Mike Robinson is not with us. He's out there working with some clients, and they are the co-founders of Looper Lids, a custom headwear and apparel company based in Traverse City, Michigan. But what they're building goes so much farther than hats. They're helping businesses, teams, and clubs bring their identity to life through intentional branding and even cost-cutting wearable NFC marketing with something called TapCap, the TapCap technology. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rose. Happy to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's go for it. I just want to hear your origin story, Josh. I always start here because every entrepreneur has that moment, that one moment that brought you and you and your idea together, or you and Mike together in the very first place. And how did your experience as golf loopers turn
Hmm
into launching Looper Lids?
Well, that's a great question. Yeah, so my backstory is I grew up in Kingsley, Michigan. I've been a golf caddy for about 15 years now. Did it through high school summers, college summers. Once I finished college, I had the opportunity to go get a real job, foregone that. So then started caddying full time. I'd go down to Florida in the winter, caddy up in Traverse City in the summer, and I did that for about 6 years or so. And that's when I actually met Michael, was down in Florida. He was doing the same thing. He was from the Nashville area, and he'd go down to Florida in the winter as well. And then that's kind of how we became friends. And one summer of 2021, I believe, his golf course was closed for the summer in Nashville. And I told him, hey, man, just come up to Traverse City, Michigan for the summer, work at the Kingsley Club with me. We'll have a good time and we can go on our way from there. And I guess he kind of fell in love with the place, and this is his home now too.
Fantastic. Well, that's awesome. What a great story. I love Nashville, but yeah, Northern Michigan is so wonderful and it's very compelling with the so many beautiful golf courses too.
Oh, you can't beat the golf. I mean,
There's so many.
yeah, a $50 golf course in northern Michigan equates to a $150 golf course down in Florida. It's the terrain, it's so fun. It's the
Yes,
best.
it totally is. So I read that Looper Lids isn't just about selling hats. You talk about intentional brand identity.
Hmm
How do
Yeah,
you think apparel and headwear can shift branding, for the small businesses and the golf clubs?
totally. Yeah, one thing we always try to say is, hey, it's 2026. It's not just the big brands who get their name out there to everyone else. Every mom and pop shop is deserves to get their logo out in front of the world as well, and we're here to help them do that.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone needs a voice,
Absolutely.
and you give them that opportunity. When you and I first met, I was a little bit naive about the word looper, and I bet there's a lot of other people out there too that haven't run across that term in regards to caddies. Will you
Rose, you
help
are yeah,
define that word for my audience and for your audience now that we
you're so
share?
right. Yeah, you're it's funny. You talk about you not knowing. I had no idea. No one else didn't know about looper lids or what the word looper meant. I thought that was a pretty universal term, but no, I'm wrong. But the origin is back in Scotland and Ireland when golf was first invented, golf courses were always designed. I got my hand out here to start in the middle. First 9 holes, you'd go out and do a loop back and kind of do the same thing for the back 9 too. So the caddies
Okay.
who always worked on the golf courses would be called loopers because they would be the ones who always went on the golf course loop.
All right. Well, it makes sense.
I
So now
if
you
you know,
know,
you
and
know.
I know my son's a golfer, other people were golfers, and also were with me in that. That's very cool. I love it, language, I love words. So, you know, a lot of companies do merchandise,
Hmm.
but yours is a little different, or maybe a lot different. Your product. So what's the looper lid difference?
So yeah, the big difference with looper lids is that we managed to find a way to turn real world interactions into digital engagement, which sounds super ambiguous, but basically we put, and I got a little example here, we put a little NFC chip behind our patches. So when you tap your phone to the patch, it opens up a website. So I mean, just you can't see it
Okay,
very well,
yeah.
I'm sure, on here, but it launches a website to your phone, and the idea with that is custom headwear. Again, it always looks good. It's always for brand awareness, but now we're turning that brand awareness into actual digital engagement for companies.
It's
Which,
so incredible.
yeah, I couldn't believe we came up with it. Really, it was kind of an accident in a way. We're like I said, I'm golf caddy, and one thing that we've noticed over time is more and more people are paying via Venmo or Cash App to golf caddies instead of just straight cash. And when you're getting down with the round, you're trying to get all of them organized, get them out of here, get their carts cleaned and whatnot. And the experience of trying to get them your Venmo information was a pain in the ass. I mean, either them having to type in your username or they could try to scan the barcode on your phone, but it's super bright out and no one can it was a nightmare. So my original idea was like, oh, I'll put a little QR code on the side of a hat, and when it comes time to caddies needing to be paid, the golfer can just scan the QR code, launches their Venmo, and boom, you're done. Sadly, creating an individual QR code for every caddy just wasn't feasible. And that's where I kind of stumbled upon this NFC idea where it can launch an individual website from the individual chip. And just like that, we kind of realized that this had a lot more applications, and we're trying to show the world these applications.
That is unique. And I'm so happy you went on and explained how you came up with your use case. That
Hmm.
use case is very, very applicable to a lot of other industries, more than just a caddy. And
Oh, for
that's
sure.
huge. So I think that's so good to hear. And I
Hmm.
love that. And so the next time we're at Oops, I'm going to make sure that I let everybody know that that's the origin story and your use case. Because when you tell them that problem that you solved and how you came up with it, immediately an entrepreneur's mind is going to go, where else could we do that? And
Totally. And that's
that's
consumed my
huge.
brain for the last 4 months essentially since
Yeah,
we
it's
came up with this.
awesome. Very cool. So let's talk that technology. You call it tap cap.
Tap cap.
Is that your own word?
Hmm. Yep.
Awesome. So
Yep.
tap cat.
Even
Let's
have a
talk about
trademark
it.
now.
What does NFC stand for? Do you even know? I don't even know
It's
NFC.
I looked it up right before our podcast. It's near field communication. So it's little radio waves from basically the chip itself has no radio waves it's emitting. It's when you put a phone to it, and every phone since like the iPhone 7 has this NFC technology. Again, I didn't even know about it beforehand. I was like, oh, my phone has NFC. That's pretty neat. But yeah, every iPhone since the iPhone 7 has this technology. And when you put your phone to that chip, that's when that communication happens. That's when that
Okay.
website gets launched.
And it can be any website?
Any website. For our customers, it's all derived from our website. So it's going to be a looperlids.com/tapcap, and then whatever their website needs to be. We're either doing direct connects to companies' websites, or something we're really trying to push is custom landing pages, custom
Oh.
call to action landing pages where the business can give exactly what they want the customer to see and interact with.
Mm,
So,
very
like for
interesting.
yeah, for a golf course, it's going to be book tee times, check out upcoming events, leave us a review. I even created one that has request the beverage cart, where if you're on the golf course, you can tap it, select what hole you're on, and it will send a little notification to the food and beverage team that, hey, this guy needs something to drink.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
got endless ideas. Just
I,
keep thinking and oh wow. Very cool. And so to that point, who are your target customers? And we talked a little bit about that use case. Who are your best clients right now? Are they golf courses, breweries? With TapCat technology, what sparked when you give it to a client, does it take a minute for them to get it?
yeah, it definitely does. I mean, we're kind of introducing something that no one's seen or heard before. So the first general thought is like, is this even applicable to what I'm doing? What do I need this? Why? And of course, I'm going to say yes, but I think it just gets the wheels spinning for most customers to kind of think of how they can best utilize it for themselves.
So like I'm going to a trade show in June,
Hmm.
and there's going to be it's a lawyer trade show. I'm going with my daughter. And
Nice.
so if I wanted to promote my book, Bullish on Immigration, and I'm walking around there and I tell people, "Hey, here's my book," and I give them this. I have a hat with that on it that
Hmm.
would it go right to the Amazon page if I wanted it to?
If
So
you
they could
wanted it
just
to, yes.
order the hat or the book.
Hmm.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, and like you were saying, our real target market right now is golf courses, wineries, distilleries. Golf outings is a huge one we're trying to get into. I've spent the last 2 or 3 days reaching out to every golf outing I can find and kind of introducing them to this idea because it really goes back to like the event sponsors.
Hmm.
Um, when a golf outing has a sponsor, the sponsor usually gives them money to usually make a hat. We do this quite a bit with the Grand Traverse Resort, where there's a little collab between the resort and whatever sponsor they have. Prior, we would just slap a logo on the side of the hat of that sponsor, and they're just hoping to get some sort of idea of like, hey, we gave you this money, we're going to get something out of it. And now with our tap cap, we can actually link their website directly to the hat, and we can actually track how many clicks they get from that landing page. So they can actually get a little ROI on their investment, which is something I no one's even thought of before.
I
I
think that's
they
huge. How much is a cap? For like if we were to buy, what are your like lots? I know you said you could do as low as 50
uh
and
mhm.
something like that. Am I right?
No,
Around?
you're right on. Generally speaking, our minimum is 25 for certain patches and 50 for others. Depending on the hat, I mean, ballpark, if we're doing 50, it'll be right around $20 a hat. Currently,
Right.
we're not charging any extra for the tap cap. We're looking for early innovators to kind of give this a try with us so we can get some data on it. And then once we get that data, we might bump up the price a little bit. But for now, no, it's just the price of a standard custom hat.
I think this is huge. Because I go to tons of trade shows. My whole
Hmm.
life has been trade shows. And I think of these big ones like HIMSS. It happens in healthcare. That's
Hmm.
60,000 people
Oh
that
my
come.
gosh.
And this other, so these conferences, and everyone loves the baseball. or a golf
Oh
capper.
yeah.
It's I think you really are zooming. So, challenges. Every startup has a lot of speed bumps.
Mhm.
And what's the big challenge that you've had to face? People watching this, they're actually probably, going through their own challenges, and they could be even having that dark night of the soul. Like, wow, why did I even bother?
Why am I doing
Um,
this? Why does
why
it
am I
matter?
even
Yeah,
doing this? Nobody
totally.
gets it. I'm on my own. What do you have to say to those guys?
I mean, right now our biggest struggle is just getting eyeballs on the tech we have, and then more or less understanding it. It's tough. Again, no one has seen this. No one knows about it. NFC in general is kind of a unutilized tech, even within your cell phones. So right now, yeah, it's just getting eyeballs on this and trying to explain it to people that they can best understand it and then use it for themselves. Which is
Wow.
why I'm so glad I'm on your podcast today, Rose.
Well, I have so many ideas. I'm so glad you signed up for my beta for the Bullish on Business Executive Information System, because two things come to my mind, and I had no plans to even, plug my software today. But one of the things that we do is talk about strategic alliances. And I was wondering if you've reached out to Apple, or have you reached out to the either Apple or the Samsung types, and really have them be a strategic partner with you because of you've got, such an amazing niche that could just blow up.
Sure.
And so we'll talk about strategic alliances. And the
Okay.
other thing I think is very important is that you have this is another part of the Bullish on Business executive information beta cohort. I'm going to talk about how you get the um, revenue powerhouse clients. And that's
Mm.
how you break through.
Hmm.
I love your heart for the SMB space, small and medium business, SMB. But, and that's great. You want to, but 80%, it's the old 80/20 rule. If
Totally.
you, if you can get a couple of really big, I call them, the revenue powerhouse clients,
Yeah, the
they're
big
going to
the whales.
fund your growth. They will
Totally.
fund your growth. And so we'll talk about, okay, let's get into this whole mindset of working with the IBMs of the world and those guys, because they love new whiz bang stuff too. So, like, if you contacted IBM or Microsoft or whoever's having a
Hmm.
big trade show, and they're a techie, or Oracle, like my niece is an executive at Oracle. I mean, like, way
Nice.
up there, and they do
Sweet.
trade shows all over the world. And if you talk to them about this hat, oh, and they always have a golf outing.
Oh.
This is huge. And
Hmm.
so I can't wait to have you on the cohort. I'm still kind of pulling the software together. I don't want to launch the whole cohort until I have a good minimal viable product for you to work with. And
Totally.
I'm almost halfway there, to
Okay.
be honest.
I know how you work. That won't be long.
Oh, God bless you. All right, let's talk about community and your location, which is, we already did a little bit. You're based in Traverse City, and you mentioned the local community. Have you had some uh champions in the local region that you want to shout out to, any of your local clients that have been uh you know
Yeah. No,
interested in
totally.
what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta shout out our golf courses. The Crown Golf Course, they were an early adapter. They
Where
joined
is
in on
the
us.
Crown Got? Where are they at? Are they the ones in Kingsley?
Nope, they are in Traverse City.
Okay.
I got to give a shout out to the Kingsley Club. I've worked there for 15 years, and they're allowing us to put this tech into all of the caddies' hats this year. So everyone's going to have hats that go directly to their Venmo. And I really, really need to thank them because it's allowing us to put this tech in front of so many, uh, I don't want to say well off, but so many great customers for us.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
every time we're on
golfing
the go,
is is a sport that isn't for those that are not, they have means.
sure.
And so that's important, and it makes the world go round, right?
Yeah, totally. Every time I'm out there caddying with this tech, I'm going to be potentially talking to new customers. It's
Yeah,
business owners, it's executives, it's everyone I would like to talk to.
that's right. That's good. So, we're talking about how long have you been in business?
We've been open since the fall of 2024.
Fantastic. And
Hmm.
so let's see, that's been 18 months,
I think that's pretty good math.
18,
Yeah.
almost 20. Yeah, 18 months. Good luck. Good for you. That's awesome. You making it through the hard times. So your future vision, where do you think you might be taking Looper Lids next? Like new products or any other tech
Um,
enhancements?
as of right now, no, we're trying to stay pretty status quo with our tech. We really need to get people to jump on board with what we've got going on now. Looper Lids itself, currently we're still working out of our own homes. We would
Mhm.
love an office run at some point once we get to that level of revenue.
Right.
We want to continue working with golf caddies. We want to be the number one provider of golf hats, polos, anything golf caddy. We'd love to be a part of. That's
I
our
love that. What a
that's our
great vision.
background.
It's a
Yeah.
great vision, a great goal. I love that you're thinking big because when you think big, you will become what you think about. When I started my company back in the day, and it was just me and one guy, we both quit IBM at the same time and started our little company. And we went into the attorney, and he looked at us, and this is before there was any startup help, was
Hmm.
1993. And there was no helpers ever, anywhere. You basically just, oh, I have to go see a lawyer. Why? And we went
Hmm.
in, we had to see a lawyer to get our business started. He looked at us and he said, well, what kind of business? Do you want to be an LLC? Do you want to be a corporate S or a corporate C? I was like,
Hmm.
gee, I have no idea. What does that mean? It's alphabet soup to me. And he said, well, a C, I mean, is like a big corporation. An LLC is like a limited liability kind of, and then the subchapter S is a little bit maybe
Above,
smaller-ish.
yeah.
I said, hey, we want to be a C. So we were a C from day one
Oh
because you
my
got to
gosh.
think big. And then we ended up doing over 100 million. And so you got to think big. And that's another very important cornerstone of the bullish on business framework that you'll learn about. So
Excellent.
yeah, you got to think big. So we talked a little bit. Let's go back to your peers over there at Oops. You know,
Hmm.
you are an avid Oopser, which I am so excited about. And those that don't know, Oops is the Office of Possibilities. We meet every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. And we're over on 8th Street at the bank, the West Shore Bank, on the third
Hmm.
floor. And if you know, let's say that we had a newbie coming in and they
Hmm.
came up to you and they were asking you for some honest advice to him or her about building a brand, what advice would you give a new oopser?
Man, the advice I would give them is every day you're out and about, you are representing your brand. Um, Someone holds the door for you, I make sure to say thank you. I'm wearing Looper Lid stuff. I'm Once you try to start building a brand, you are that brand, and every action or anything you do represents that brand. So I would just say consistency of who you are and what you want to be. And no, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I like that.
That's really good. You know, and the thing that I really like about you, Josh, is that from day one, every time you speak, you stand up. And that just totally impresses. I'm sure it does the whole group. And I think you setting the high bar for us because when you sit up, you've got more energy. You can
Mhm.
breathe and you can project your voice. And from day one, you've done that. And that's such a great example. So before I move into the wrap up, I just want to give you an opportunity. Do you have anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to share with the Bullish on Business audience?
Hmm. I don't know. I think we've done a pretty good job covering it all. Um, I would just like to make a note, Northern Michigan companies, let's remember exactly what we are. We are a tourist destination to any local businesses that are trying to get more engagement out of their customers. I think the tap cap is perfect. Just imagine, I use this example all the time because I'm not a big drinker, but I enjoy going to TC Whiskey and having a drink. It's just a great experience. I think of someone from, Chicago, Detroit, or anywhere going to TC Whiskey. They have a good time. They want to grab a souvenir. Tourism, souvenir, hand in hand. What if that souvenir directed that customer right back to either your online store, your social medias, anything to continue engaging with that customer even after they're out of Traverse City? That's one thing I really love about
Wow.
TabCap is it's just going to help the local community hopefully continue to grow and get through the cold winter months when we're all just bundled up trying to stay warm. We
Right.
can thrive during those times too. Help
That's
help
true.
build that online engagement.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And with the Cherry Festival coming up, I hope that you get a lot of the companies leveraging tap cap technology in your caps so that they do spread the word because we get
Excellent.
people from all over the world coming in
Right.
for that event.
No,
Well, great. Well, Josh, thank you so much for coming on Bullish on Business. I love how you took your real world experience and turned it into something that helps other brands show up better in the world. And
hmm
that's a kind of an entrepreneurial creativity with new technology. We really want to celebrate you because of that. If you're listening, guys, out there in the internets, and you want some custom headwear and branded apparel that actually does work for your business, give Josh and Looper Lids look on their website, go to their Facebook page. It's looperlids.com, right?
Looperlids.com. And yeah, if you want to just get started with a quote, just click that get custom gear quote and we'll get the process started.
Yeah, they have a really easy, very good website. I was out there a couple times already myself. And even, if you're a tech company and you really want to promote tech or you want to talk about how technology, I mean, I'm a techie, so I
Mhm.
gravitate to this. And to be honest, I've always wanted to engage the NCP, is it? And the technology, but I've always had a hard time getting one phone to talk to another phone because the one phone might not be coordinated or
Right.
something. And so this takes away the one phone being perfect.
hmm
You've got your phone, just one phone to think about, and it works. And so you're not struggling with that, which I think is really, really cool. And I definitely want to talk about how can we really, I know your focus, which is so important. Focus is everything. But we'll talk about getting some more big fish on the line for Looper Lids. So check it out. Check out Looper Lids. You will be a first and experience it. And who we all love being first. So Josh, and let Mike know that I want to thank him as well, because I know you can't do it alone. And I can't
Definitely
wait to
not.
see what's next for you guys. And
Yeah.
tell Mike hello, as I said. And if um, you want to check this out, come over to Oops. He always has a sample at our Oops meeting. And there you can meet with Josh or Mike one-on-one. And with that, I'm going to sign off and thanks for everything. And thank you again, Josh.
Of course, Rose. Appreciate you having me on.
You bet. Take care. Bye.